Hey guys, welcome back to Nature's Cadence Farm. Today we're going to be working on this 2001 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Now this is a new purchase for the farm. We just got this maybe a month ago now, and I really haven't had time to get in here. We're going to have a lot of videos about this. We're going to do some brake work, some other repairs and this and that. But for today, what we're going to do is do an oil change on this. And pretty straightforward. We're going to get in here and do it, so let's get started. Underneath the vehicle we have the oil pan, and at the very rear of the oil pan is the drain plug, and that has a 5/8 head on it. So let's go ahead and get that off and get this oil coming out. I've already warmed the motor up. Got the drain plug loose there, and it was pretty tight. So let's go ahead and make sure we have our bucket in the right place, drain pan, whatever you're using. Let's get the plug out, and bam, there we go. So we're going to let that drain for a little while, and we're going to go ahead and get ready to get the oil filter removed. And I have no idea how long this oil's been in here, but it looks like crude oil. It's so old. So we're going to put some fresh stuff in here and see if we can keep this motor lasting a long time. I'm going to put this back in the hole there. Go ahead and tighten it on down. Here's the oil filter. It's on the passenger side of the engine, in the engine under the hood here. And so I'm just going to put the filter wrench on here in the loosening position. Oh, that wasn't as tight as the drain plug. That's amazing. Okay, so that's loosened up enough for me to get my hand on it to crack it loose. And then there everything goes. So I'm going to let it drip drain for a little bit, and then I'll come right back and we'll go ahead and get the new filter put on there. Just going to drain some of that out, turn it upside down, and go ahead and pull it out. There's the new oil filter number, M0090, and here's the number on the filter itself. There you go, right there, you can read that. But typically what's on the box there is what you're going to find in the parts stores. I like to take and wipe up this surface down here where the oil filter gasket rides on the engine. That way I know it's nice and clean, and there's no dirt and debris left over. I use a clean rag to do that. So I've got my new filter here, and I went ahead and put just a light coating of new motor oil on there, and that I've found helps lubricate the gasket. There's been a comment that someone never puts oil on their gasket because it can get too hot and burn to the engine. If you have any experience with that, or have another idea, or think that's unnecessary, just let me know. I'd love to hear your comments. So we got that tight. I've got it up to hand tight, and it says on the instructions on the filter to tighten it another half turn past that. So we're just gonna take it another half turn past that. I just used the filter wrench to do that. Okay, so the plug's in, filter's on. Now it's time to put a little oil in the top end here. We're going to use this Rotella T6 synthetic 5W40, and I've got my funnel back here in the hole in the valve cover. So let's go ahead and start this going here. I like to pour my oil sideways. Seems like it gets in there. It kind of comes out a little bit better, a little faster, even. It doesn't gurgle and chug like you see sometimes. Especially these gallon jugs, it works pretty good. I'm going to start with a gallon in here. We'll let that kind of lay right there and drain. I'm going to pull the dipstick out over here and check that. Over here on the passenger side of the vehicle, toward the rear of the engine, there's the oil dipstick right there. So we're going to wipe that off. Whatever was on there from before. Slide it on down in the engine there, pull it back out. Let's see if it's even on there. Yes, it is. That's great. So it's right on the add mark for me right here. So I'm going to go ahead and with that gallon that's in there, since I can see it on the dipstick, I know it has plenty in there. I'm going to go ahead and start the engine up and let it cycle through the oil filter, and then I'm going to check the level again and top it off to see what else it might need. Okay, well, I started up the engine there and I waited for the oil pressure gauge to get up to you know, a little below 40 or above 0. That means we've built up enough pressure in the system for it to cycle through the oil filter, and everything's good to go. It doesn't take very long. So I'm going to pop this back off, get that ready for this again. I'm sure we're going to have to add some more because it was already on the add line before. So let's take our dipstick back out. We're going to wipe it off completely the first time, and then we're going to go back in here, let it set for just a second, pop it out, and let's see where we're at. Okay, so I can see it. It's right here at the tip of my finger. So that's good. I mean, that's fine. So I know I'll need to have at least another 2 quarts in there, but I'm going to start with the 1.5 quart that I have over there in that jug already. So I've let that drain for a little bit. You know, the jug is still kind of draining into that funnel there. But all the oil is, you know, the bulk of the oil has already ended up down in the oil pan. So let's go ahead and pull this out again. We're going to wipe it off one time just in case. Go back in here again. Check it. Alright, so we're right in the middle of the add and safe mark. So that's pretty good. So it looks like if we're at the add mark, we need a full quart. But I do have another 1/2 quart I'm going to put in there, and I'm going to put it all the way up to the safe mark. Alright guys, well that about does it for us. We've got the oil changed in here. No problem at all. Pretty straightforward. Thankfully, it is straightforward and easy to do. It is a Jeep, and this is a little bit older one. But either way, we look forward to using this around the farm and on the road for that matter. It only has 80,000 miles on it, so we got a pretty young vehicle here. Well, old vehicle, low mileage vehicle on our hands, so hopefully it'll last us a long time. Well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.